Goedemiddag, dames en heren. Van harte welkom hier in het MEC in Maastricht voor de 6e editie van de Dutch Darts Masters. Het is tijd voor onze eerste wedstrijd. Wales tegen Schotland. Allereerst gaan we de man uit Wales deze kant ophalen. Hij speelt in zijn 3e Euro-tour toernooi in zijn carrière. Geef hem een applaus. De Stack Attack, Robert Owen. En dan de tegenstander van Robert. Die komt uit Schotland. Hij speelt zijn 4e Euro-tour toernooi al van 2017. Hij kwam 2 keer in het verleden tot de laatste 16 van dit soort toernooien. Hij is de nummer 91 van de wereld. Dames en heren, de vrouw, Jamie Bain. En 2 topspelers op het podium betekent dat we ook een topscheidsrechter voor u hebben uitgenodigd. Mag een applaus voor Paul Hinks.
Following its summer break, the PDC European Tour returns for the 9th leg of the calendar. And for the first time, we are in the city of Maastricht for the Dutch Darts Masters. This venue, by the way, is almost a city in its own right. This place will be filled with around 5,000 fans over the course of the weekend, most of them either anticipating or expecting a 4th successive title for Michael van Gerwen. As we're in Holland, we have 4 host nation qualifiers in the main draw, along with the Dutch seeded players. And later, for the first time, we'll witness the European Tour debut of the 17-year-old who everyone is talking about, Justin van der Hout. Scotland plays Wales, though, in our opener. I'm Rob Malarkey, and making his return to the European Tour as well, it's Dan Dawson.
It's back. It is back, the Euro Tour. This fantastic series of events on the PDC calendar, the Dutch Darts Masters. We've been in Veldhoven before, we've been in Venray. That was an enormous venue, but this dwarfs even Venray, by my reckoning at least.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First flag is Jamie to throw first. Game on.
And to kick things off, it is Scotland versus Wales. Jamie Bain versus Robert Owen. Bain, with the nickname Bain, against Robert Owen, 59. With a nickname you can't say without sounding like Alan Partridge. Stack Attack. This is the way his darts go. You can stack them on top of there, see? A bit like that. All over the top. Stack Attack. There you see.
Bang on kick from Robert Owen.
100.
Yeah, this the first of 4 tournaments left this year to determine the lineup for this year's European Championship. This is the first of 3 in September alone, and Robert Owen,
140.
Oh, just for a moment or two, I thought the fans who had turned up might have been on the verge of something very special indeed.
Oh, 5 perfect darts to start the tournament for Robert Owen. Not bad, is it?
Not bad at all, Dan.
60.
Just a 60 there, but still in with a shout of breaking the throw here.
86. Robert, you require 121.
And the 1-2-1. Treble 20. 17s he wants. For the bullseye. What a start! Robert Owen, 1-2-1 check out for a 12 dart and a breaker throw.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
Oh, the bar's been set very high already. 5 perfect darts to start things off for Robert Owen. A 1-2-1 check out on the bull.
100.
Well, it's a bit of an insurance policy for both of these guys because they have qualified for next weekend as well. We've already had the qualifiers for obviously this one. That's why they're here. But the next tournament as well. So they're going to be the German Darts Grand Prix next weekend. We've got a 3rd Euro Tour at the end of the month as well, sandwiching the Champions League of Darts. Very busy in September after that break from Pro Tour action as Bain
140.
This is out on his first maximum.
Just worth mentioning now as well at this very early juncture, one man who won't be in Mannheim next weekend, Christoph Ratajski.
Yeah, I know.
What's happened
140.
9 out of 9. Goes for the perfect 10. Misses out. And it's Nandor Bezek who will be representing Eastern
98.
Europe.
Cheeky Nandor.
Cheeky Nandor next weekend.
Good thinking from Bain there, moving to the 18s, leaves the 170. Having taken out 1-2-1 though.
97. Jamie, you require 170.
Some way to break back. Not going to happen.
105. Robert, you require 64.
16s or 8s will be the route for Robert Owen. And from Bridgend, another one of those for the double.
48.
No real
Jamie
guide,
requires
that
65.
second dart. Would like that a little bit closer to the double.
Oh, too good. Double 4.
57. Robert, you require 16.
So a let off there for Robert Owen. And he too now is looking at double 4 for a 2-0 lead.
Shot on the second
And that's
leg.
exactly what he has. Robert Owen looking to make the most of a rare appearance on the European Tour. He has only played in one already this year. That was at the German Darts Masters in Jena, where he lost to Max Hopp in the very first round, 6 legs to 3. Had a very comfortable run through qualifying for this one, though. Brendan Dolan 6-4, Callum Luce and Michael Barnard
81.
all put to the sword.
Yeah, it was one of the young German lads that ended Jamie Bain's hopes on the Euro Tour early this year as well, wasn't he? He had that run to the final day in Austria, made the last 16, and Martin Schindler, who probably playing the best stuff we've seen from Shindy. Certainly in a singles tournament. Played some good stuff at the World Cup with Max.
134.
Yeah. But he just beat Neon White with a fantastic display, Martin Schindler, and then he saw off Jamie Bain.
And then ran out of steam against Van Gogh, in which
55.
we'll forgive him that.
Yeah.
6-1 the score that day. But yeah, good to see Bain having another go here.
Oh, it looks like he's made some strides this year, Jamie Bain. Won his tour card
48.
at the start of the year. He did have it. Didn't have one last year, but the 2 years previously he had it. Didn't really make much of an impact. Looked like he had something.
59.
I remember him beating Phil Taylor in a Pro Tour game.
And he didn't qualify for any of these last year, either.
No.
So that's a step up in improvement, shall we say, for him anyway.
96.
But he's got a bit. He's got
Jamie
sponsors.
Ricard,
He's with the same management group as Darrell
167.
Gurney, James Wilson. Now then, needed that treble 19 for a go at the bullseye, but that's a good
139.
setup
Robert
from
Ricard,
Bain, looking to get his first leg on the board.
142.
Now, what's the route? He was looking at the treble 20. Some players will go 2 treble 17s for tops.
100.
Love that
Jamie
shot.
Ricard, 28.
Double 14 then, the Mensur. Double 7. Oh dear.
That's the pitfall.
26.
And then he's tried to bust
42.
that, and he's done it very, very lazily. And he's left himself double 1. Real problems here for Jamie Bain, even if Robert Owen doesn't take it out, which he does anyway. It's another 17 darter. 3-0, another break, and Jamie Bain, it's quite the trek to get here to Maastricht. And he's going to be very disappointed with how he started this.
It's quite a trek to get to the stage as well from the players' area.
45.
By the way, I did take a walk to the back of that arena. You can just see it over the shoulders of the players. I got about halfway. I called a taxi, you know.
125.
Look at that. It just goes way back into the distance. 5,000 fans expected over the weekend. Like I say, 4 host nation qualifiers involved, including
45.
Van der Hau, and they'll be joining the seeded players, or looking to join the seeded players in the main draw itself tomorrow. Van Gerwen, Klaassen, Van der Pas,
85.
etc.
You want to look at the ages of some of the lads who've qualified.
I know. Well, the Dutch players, if you take Christian Kist out of the equation, you've got Van der Hau,
100.
Zwan,
Yep.
and
Hendricks.
Hendricks was the other one as well,
Yeah, all young lads. You've got the 2 Germans who only just turned 21 in Hopp and
41.
Schindler. You've got Nico Bloom, born this millennium, the
16.
first player born this millennium to play on the Euro Tour, quickly followed by Van der Hau,
Yeah.
who's the second.
8 months between them, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you've still got RJ Rod the second, Roby John
140.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, he could do with a good weekend as well.
He could, but you've got so many young players. There are a few veterans here.
Beaton plays Bloom,
58.
Yeah.
which will be a really interesting
Aggregate age of 80.
matchup. Most of them
Only
50.
17 years for Nico Bloom, though. Top billing, probably.
No, Bloom's still
59.
16.
Oh, is he still 16?
Yeah,
I thought
December
he was
is
17.
birthday,
Oh, well.
yeah.
There you go.
Anyway,
85.
back to the here and now.
Robert
And
Unicall,
Jamie Bain
112.
still struggling to make an impression here. He's on a finish of 107 if Robert Owen does not take this out. And he won't.
Tricky, that one. After that first dart,
38.
need to stay in the treble 20.
Jamie
He had to go to the
Ricard,
left-hand side
107.
because he couldn't really force his dart underneath it.
51. Robert, you require 74.
Well, if this goes in, this would leave Jamie Bain staring into the abyss. That's absolutely perfect. Double 16.
That looks a good guide. Yeah, you can see stack attack from Robert Owen, just sticking that one on top of the previous one. 4-0, and Jamie Bain, well, looking a little bit rusty after pretty much a month off from Pro Tour action.
Well, this is it. You wonder how players will deal with this. As you say, the bulk of the players have not really had any competitive action. The higher echelon players have been involved in the World Series. Michael van Gerwen, for example, you know, he's had a month off. He's become a father, of course. He's not played since the World Match Play, has he, really? So, you know, you just wonder how he'll be. I'm sure he'll do okay. Let's face it, he loves playing here in Holland. 3 titles on the spin.
Oh, lovely. Look at the room.
Well, he went the other way, but it didn't matter. He had the gap there, but he still squeezed it in the other side. And Jamie Bain is in a big, big hole here now. And he's looking very sluggish indeed. He was not sluggish in his opening match in Austria. First 3 darts average of 137 when he played Christian Kist in Vienna. Nothing like that today.
Yeah, he's just not really got going. There's not a massive difference in the averages. It's only sort of 4 or 5 points. But he's only had 3 darts at double Jamie Bain. He's missed them all. And Robert Owen is hitting almost 60% of his.
24.
Treble 1-1, skinny 20 doesn't help him. Chance for Bain here. Topsy once.
29.
Some way
Robert,
off.
you require 154.
I think this is the game if this goes.
Which it won't.
118. Jamie, you require 40.
Well, this has to go. Really does. Messing around on double 5, and that's about an inch inside the wire as well. And Robert Owen has another opportunity for a 3rd successive break of thrown for a 5-0 lead, and that really would be game, set, and match, you feel here.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Robert Owen.
That looked very difficult to force that dart in there for Robert Owen, but he somehow managed it, and everything is going perfectly for the man from Bridgend. It is another break of throw. It is 5-0, and I think that is probably the game, because even though he is only averaging 4 points more than Jamie Bain, well, it is more than enough, because Bain is 0 out of 7 on his doubles.
100.
And it looks as if it's the Welshman who's going to be taking on the top man from Spain, Cristo Reyes, the Spartan.
Yeah, Robert Owen didn't make it to the 2nd round of a Euro Tour event last year. His best run, call it a run, it was a 1st round defeat at the European Darts Grand Prix in Sindelfingen, lost 6-5 to Mark Frost that day.
140.
But he should be okay here now.
Well, it'll be some capitulation to lose from here. Look at that. 1 point in the averages, 5-0 in legs.
60.
All about the right shot at the right time, and it was the 1-2-1 on the bullseye for a 12 dart in the very first leg that kind of set the tone for this one.
Well, Cristo Reyes awaits the winner of this one. It looks as though it will be Owen to meet the Spartan.
80.
Jamie got a leg here, though, Jamie Bain. We should do, but then again, he should have got a leg before now.
Cristo Reyes, the only Spartan now as well.
Yes.
And we just mentioned that.
Devon Peterson,
before we
now renamed the African Warrior.
I like that.
That's good. No big Dev here this
Jamie
weekend.
Jamie 125.
Some high-profile absentees from the qualifiers. Stephen Bunting not here this weekend
65.
either.
Robert, you require 146.
Failed to make all 3 in that sequence of qualifiers in Barnsley.
Yeah, and it looked like Bunty was coming into some form. He had back-to-back quarterfinals for the first time in the Pro Tour in 2 years recently, Bunting. The tops for Bain. 10s. 0 out of 9. And Robert Owen gets 2 match darts for a 6-0 whitewash to kick off the Dutch Darts Masters here. The Welshman. Oh, double 18 it is. And there it is. Robert Owen sees off Jamie Bain very, very comfortably. Nothing in the averages at all, but it's the finishing stats that made the difference. Robert Owen through to the 2nd round. He will take on Cristo Reyes tomorrow. Cristo, the 13th seed here. The seeded players entering the action tomorrow, as always, on the European Tour. But Ryan Searle and Steve West are our next 2 players in action on stage here in Maastricht. We'll have a quick couple of words with Robert Owen, and then the action continues. Searle versus West for a place in round 2.
Na, 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 na.
convincing signal victory. It's your first win on the Euro Tour.
It is, yeah, after sort of fluffing the first 2 years with my tour card, and then sort of last year I come into one, this year now I've qualified for 4. You know, and to get that first win out the way, I'm very good friends with Jamie, and it's always going to be a tough game. Good player, but tough to win.
I think the first leg really helped. Really good leg, good 1-2-1 finish, and you were off.
Yeah, I started the game well. Probably the first 3 legs I played well. Jamie missed a few doubles in the last couple of legs and let me in. But I've been playing well recently, so I'll take that as a very good win for me, starting off.
And that means you're in the second round. We'll see you back tomorrow. Dames en heren, morgen zien we hem terug. Robert Owen! Ja, hij is natuurlijk blij met zijn eerste overwinning ooit op de Eurotour. En Robert gaat morgen spelen tegen Cristo Reyes. We zijn zo terug. Vermaak u.